Riverhawk fans, welcome back to a glorious edition of the Riverhawk Report. As always, I'm your host, Ben Non. Well, with spring in the air means spring sports. With basketball and hockey kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of the regular season, we look towards, spring is in the air. Men's Lax with a big win over Quinnipiac for their first victory of the season, as well as baseball and softball beginning. All this and more coming up with No Nonsense. We start off on the hardcore, and sometimes the streak has to be snapped. The women's basketball team finally picked up their first conference win of the season in their 65-60 win against Vermont. After falling to Stony Brook 63-60 on Thursday, they finally put it together and snapped their streak. Kayla Gibbs scored 19 points in the win. And up next, a date with Maine tomorrow at 7 p.m. and then a trip to Binghamton on Saturday before they return home next week. Men's basketball was on the road for 2 games this past week. First, they fell to Stony Brook, and then they took on the best team in the conference, the Vermont Catamounts. On Sunday, they kept pace with those Catamounts behind Jihad Thomas's 23 points, but lost 81-69. Up next, they come back home for 3 final games, starting off with Albany on Thursday and Binghamton on Sunday. Before the following week, they have their senior day, which we'll get into more next week's Riverhawk Report. We turn to the pond now. The men's hockey team lost 3-2 in overtime at Boston College. Ryan Domowski and Tommy Panico helped put them up 2-1 in the second, but BC scored in the third period before they took home the victory in overtime 3-2. On Saturday, Norm Bazin's squad lost 3-0 at UMass. They now have 4 final games left in the regular season slate before the Hockey East postseason begins. They welcome Providence for a home Friday and Saturday, and gear up for Star Wars night Saturday, as the game will also be televised on ESPN3. Men's lacrosse started off their 2017-2018 campaign with a big win against Quinnipiac 13-12 in overtime. Sean Tyrell led the team with 4 goals and was named America East Offensive Player of the Week. They take on Harvard in Cambridge on Saturday at 3 p.m. And then men's baseball. They open up the campaign down in Charleston, South Carolina for the Shipyard Invitational as they take on Ball State and Morehead State, part of a doubleheader. The softball team opens up down in Clearwater, Florida, where the weather must be nice, as they take on SEC opponents in Tennessee and Missouri on Friday, part of the Pediatric Cancer Invitational. We took time to talk to senior outfielder Samantha McQueen on what she's looking forward to most this season.
I'm really looking forward to conference play this year. I think last year we came really close to coming in first, and I think we have a lot to prove this year. We have some big shoes to fill, but I think we're more than prepared, and we've been working hard. So I'm really excited to see where conference takes us, and hopefully coming in first this year.
Thank you, Samantha. Looking forward to the men's baseball and the softball team going at it. They'll be home in a few weeks. Make sure you're going to GoRiverhawks.com for more information. Lastly, track and field. Both the men and women had a strong week at the David Hemery Valentine Invitational, starting off with Vladimir Popsoy, who won the pole vault, equaling a school record as he cleared the box at 16 feet, 8 3/4 inches. For the women, Jennifer Lee grabbed 4th in shot put. Both compete at the Brown Invitational in Providence, Rhode Island this weekend. Well, with all these sports means top plays, I'm interested in these. Let's now take a look at your Circle Health Plays of the Week. Number 3, Jennifer Lauro taking on the Vermont Catamounts. The Riverhawks looking for their first conference win, and take a look at that. Right off the glass, underneath the basket. Looking like Michael Jordan out there in a huge bucket. And a huge win for the Riverhawks. Number 2 on the ice, John Edward to Charlie Levesque to Tommy Panico. Tic-tac-toe, that's how they drew it up in their 3-2 loss to Boston College. And our number 1 play of the week, the season opener for the men's lacrosse team, and John Phillips in overtime connects for the victory for the Riverhawks over Quinnipiac. They were down 2 and came back late to win this one. As you see them celebrating there in overtime. Huge win for the Riverhawks. Those are your Circle Health Plays of the Week. Well, I mentioned Star Wars night. That is going to be on Saturday at the Tsongas Center, 7 p.m. Men's hockey taking on the Providence Friars. Should be a doozy. You can get a lightsaber like I have here, and I kind of like it. Well, on behalf of the Riverhawk Network, I'm Ben Non. Thank you for tuning in, and let's look forward to a great week of everything Riverhawk athletics.